There are growing questions today around a new and deadly outbreak. Scientists determined that this monkeypox virus was engineered. With limited antiviral drugs and no known effective treatments, countries around the world are struggling to control another pandemic with already devastating effects.
Seeing far fewer cases in countries where governments took early and decisive action.
And some international experts are urging the WHO to adopt a phased approach to warnings.
And then you have this. Even the New York Post stating that there was an international simulation in 2021. Currently, the monkeypox outbreak. This New York Post article right here telling you that it was a so-called global exercise that was done about the monkeypox. I'm going to leave the link to the article in the description so you can read it. And then, what do we get a year later?
Now to the monkeypox outbreak that's spreading globally and throughout the U.S. According to the CDC, cases are now in 47 states, Washington, D.C., and Puerto Rico. And New York accounts for a staggering 27% of cases in the country, with the state recording more than 1,300 cases, the most cases of the virus nationwide. Governor Kathy Hochul declared a state of emergency disaster Friday. New York City quickly followed suit, issuing a public health emergency the next day. And the U.S. federal government is also releasing nearly 800,000 more monkeypox vaccine doses from the federal stockpile, more than 10% of those going to New York City. NBC News correspondent Lindsay Reiser joins us now from outside of a clinic in Manhattan. Lindsay, it's good to see you. So what's the latest on New York's numbers, and what can you tell us about the state and city's emergency declarations?
Well, Zing Clay, good morning. So in the U.S., we have more than 5,000 cases, and we're going to show you how many of those are here in New York State alone. We're talking about more than a quarter of those cases, the total number being 1,383 in New York State, 1,289 in the city. So in the city, it's mostly in Manhattan, and it's mostly among men between the ages of 30 to 39, and those men either identify as LGBTQ or unknown. And we know that this is transmitted through close contact. And right now, these emergency measures, they free up more federal aid to combat this. They also allow more people like EMS, pharmacists, midwives to administer these vaccinations. So in addition to New York City declaring this emergency, we have San Francisco, which did that just a couple of days prior. And over the weekend, Zinclay, we also heard the first deaths reported outside of Africa in both Spain and Brazil, Zinclay.
So the stakes are really getting high. And I know that the early vaccine rollout in New York City hit a couple of snags, Lindsay, right? Glitches on the appointment scheduling website and complaints that there wasn't actually enough notice given about when or where appointments were. So how's the vaccination process been going now, and how many doses are coming specifically to New York?
Well, demand is really high. So of those about 800,000 vaccines that are going to be going to different states, we know that 10% or about 80,000 plus monkeypox vaccine doses will be coming right here to New York City. New York State will get another 30,000. And we know that these doses are allocated based on the case burden, based on high-risk population areas. But we also know, like I mentioned, demand's so high that the last time About a week ago, 17,000 vaccine appointments were opened up. They were taken within a half hour. Let's listen to somebody who was able to get one.
It took me, I think, a week after I found out appointments were happening to book one. And then I got it, and now I got it.
So a lot of people looking for this information, and we should hear more about when those more doses will be coming to this area, Zing Clay.
Absolutely.
The same as the Corona hoax. Had assimilations first, and then a year later, you see the real thing.
Yeah.